Yeah. Sightbox, unbox, now we open the door. New podcast.
Welcome to the BoxPod. This is the BoxPod,
BoxPod.
episode 10.
Yeah.
10. Can you believe it? We got
did it.
10, man.
Yeah. This is the season finale.
Season finale. Is it going to be any cliffhangers?
Cliffhanger.
Who knows? We have been talking a lot about self-driving cars, the self-driving technology for probably half of the episodes now.
Yeah.
But we actually put it to the test. We went on a road trip.
We did.
Tell us a little bit about how that went.
Yeah. So we had an event to go to at Stanford University.
Oh, the Llama Lounge.
At the Llama Lounge.
17.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. You're kind of like, hey, you want to drive it?
Yeah, I mean, we usually southwest it, you know, to Oakland and then just skip over to the city.
Yeah.
But this time it was in Palo Alto.
Yes.
And so we would have had to have flown into probably San Jose. And for whatever reason, the flights were stupid expensive for no reason.
Yeah.
It was going to be a few $100 each.
Yeah.
And I was like, what if we ran a Tesla with FSD on it?
Yes.
And just go, are you guys down?
Try it out.
And you guys are all like, I'm down.
Yeah.
Right? So we rented a Model Y on Turo.
Mm-hmm.
And we paid for the upgrade, the FSD.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't think I drove the car much.
Not much.
Right?
No.
We traded off, but we just kicked that thing into
Yeah, we
FSD.
joked. We're like, okay, who wants to stare at the road?
Yeah,
exactly. You know, it's like, it's not who's going to drive, who's going to stare ahead.
Who's going to stare ahead at the road, yeah. And so, I mean, I was pretty impressed with it. It hardly ever required intervention. I don't think much. I don't think at all, actually. Not for me, at least. It did kick you off once because you got a little aggressive with the gas.
I had a heavy foot.
And
so I got put in timeout.
You got put in timeout. And so we pulled over and restarted it. But I was pretty impressed with it. On road trips especially, I guess you can still, in theory, use the autopilot. Would work in a very similar way.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just highway.
Yeah.
But when we were driving around to pull over for charging, when we got into the city, I mean, this thing was just driving us
through the parking lot,
through everything.
Yeah. That was the craziest part, I think, is like when you go into a parking lot and it sees which parking spots are available, right? Just from the cameras. And it shows you on the screen. It's like, oh, there's 3 parking spots available. And you just click on it. You just tap, okay, park there. And it's like, okay. And not only does it park, but it'll like back in.
Yeah.
You know? Baller, dude. And nails it first time.
Yeah.
Every time.
It's so good. And we were joking because I didn't get put on timeout, but I got the warnings several times about looking at my phone.
Oh yeah.
Because the urge is there, and then you can sense when somebody messages you and you just want to check like, at least who it is.
Yeah.
But because we didn't have a phone mount, the phone was always on the charging port.
Yeah.
On the pad. And so the eyes have to go down completely to even grab it or to interact with the phone at all. And I mean, you see that blue light immediately. Like, hey, pay attention. And if you grab it, the camera senses you're holding it.
Yes.
So we were jokingly saying, hey, why don't we disengage? You got to disengage the completely safe self-driving mode.
Yes.
So that you can drive it manually so that you can look at your phone.
Right. It's
like how backwards is that?
Yeah. Let's go super dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right? It's like,
yeah.
Like turn off the autopilot and then do 2 things at once.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah. Take over while you're going 85.
So you can check
on the highway so you can check your phone and then put it back to safe mode where the car does everything.
When you're not doing anything.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get it. But it's stupid.
Yeah, it's just I'm sure it's
just
regulations
backwards
and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's totally backwards.
But honestly, it was so smooth. Never got car sick or anything. Didn't make any like crazy maneuvers.
And we tried. I don't remember the modes. We tried the hurry mode.
Hurry, yes.
For most of it.
Yeah.
And we did throttle it down to the standard mode, whatever it was, because we're trying to save battery.
Yeah.
And it did fine on both. We pit stopped twice each way and no more than 15 minutes it needed just to get you enough optimal charge to get you to the next spot. And
It was
I
amazing.
was a little surprised by the price because we did get billed after the trip,
Oh,
the charging invoices,
yeah.
and it was the whole trip was, well, if you had to guess, what would you say?
200.
That's high. That it wasn't that.
Oh, was it?
No, it was like $90.
Okay. That's it.
Yeah,
Round trip.
round trip. So about 45 each way,
Okay.
which means we technically stopped 3 times each way because we needed charge when we
Yeah.
we got
stopped.
there.
Yeah.
So you're really talking about less than $20 each
That's
time.
crazy.
But the reason it's so expensive is because we did the 240.
Yeah.
The
The superchargers.
superchargers are the most expensive, and then I think the ones that are on I-5, because they're highway, they're busy, they're gonna be more expensive than maybe something around here.
Mm-hmm.
So we were paying premium, so I guess it's not terrible, but for a road trip, I would have liked it to have been less.
I
than-
see.
Yeah, just me personally, but
Yeah.
it's still not bad.
But here's the thing. What was so crazy about that charging was it charged faster than my iPhone would.
Dude, it was so fast.
It would go from like we had like at 10%. We went from like 10% to 60%,
Yeah, in
And
10 minutes or
10, 15
Yeah.
minutes.
crazy.
It was unbelievable. I've never, I mean, honestly, yeah, your phone doesn't charge that fast.
Right. And I saw some other tips. There's 1,000 videos on YouTube for Tesla owners for optimizing and preconditioning the battery.
Mm-hmm.
So if it knows it's on its way to a supercharging station, it starts to precondition the battery so that when you get there, it does it quicker.
Mm-hmm.
But then also it's for battery health, supposedly. Like it's supposed to make the battery healthier if you precondition it before versus you
show
just
up.
show up and then raw dog it and
Mm-hmm.
charge it up. But I heard some tips that said don't put your stops in the navigation like we did. We said we're going to Palo Alto,
Yeah.
and then okay, you're gonna need to stop here and here, and then it just did it. Some of the tips were map just the charging station
Oh,
so that the car knows. But I mean, I don't know if there's any truth to that because the stops were in there and it knew.
yeah. And
And it
I
needed
never
to
seen the
charge this.
preconditioning.
Right, it did, right?
Yeah.
So I think it does it automatically now. Maybe those videos were old.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, like you said, one of the times we were at like 7%.
Yeah.
We were getting nervous.
Yeah,
I don't know if this thing's gonna
Yeah.
make it. And it did, right? 7%. And then it got to 80 in like 15 minutes or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
I mean, it alerted us while we were eating lunch
Yeah.
that the car's ready. And we're like, dang, all right,
Yeah.
let's go.
And all the charging stations are kind of by restaurants or little
Yeah.
stops and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Best one was like the one
Target
next to
one.
Target.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
What a hack, man.
What a hack, right?
Yeah.
You just,
Yeah, we were in Target longer than we needed to be. Like,
Yeah.
the car was done.
yeah.
Car
It
was
came out like
done.
90%. I'm like, what the heck? So yeah, I mean, I think as long as you're planning ahead, and I mean, if you had a charger at home,
Yeah.
you would never even need to supercharge anything. It's really just for those.
And
longer
apparently
trips.
now you can have like a 240 installed in your garage for like $300,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is nothing.
Yeah, I think it's kind of what your dryer uses.
Yeah, it's
ones.
or an RV
Yeah.
plug.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's literally just connecting from the breaker. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and you could even do it like we have here, the external one,
Yeah.
the bar like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
And
get an
then boom.
electrician.
Pop it in.
Yeah.
And so who knows? So anyways, that was pretty fun. I said it on the vlog. Wasn't my favorite Llama Lounge. I love Jeremiah. I love everything he's doing. I mean, there was like 600 people there,
That was a
500,
massive
600.
one. Yeah.
But the networking effect seems to have gotten lost, at least for me, at that venue, because it was chilly. It was outside, kind of half inside, outside, and so people weren't sure where the hang was,
Yeah.
and then they immediately rushed everyone into the auditorium, and it felt real formal versus when we do the other ones where we're just kind of standing, right?
Yeah.
It's real organic,
It's very informal.
informal. This was very formal presentation with the MC, which Chris did a great job. Chris Ye, he killed it.
Dude, he cracked us up.
Yeah, he was
He
great.
had some good ones in there.
And then it was like, okay, everybody out.
Yeah.
It's done. And then it was already later in the night.
Yeah.
And so everyone went kind of straight outside. And then it was like, is it done? Or
Yeah.
are we still hanging? And people just kind of started dipping out.
And then we went to the after party.
And then we went to the after party or the after event, and there was nobody there.
Nobody
And there was tables that were reserved.
Reserved.
And nobody
Right.
came except us.
Yeah.
But that was a little weird. But I mean, Jeremiah knows how to throw a party.
Absolutely.
And so there was some cool demos. Like, I'll be honest, I didn't understand what half of them did based on just the pitch.
Sure.
But there was one, we'll have to pull up the name of it if we can't recall. The 3D space.
Oh yeah. I
Um,
didn't see that one that much, but
yeah, so basically these guys had a technology or they had a model where you can tap into your existing cameras. So like say, like our camera's here, right? We have camera at the in the hallway. We have one here in the conference room. We have one here in this room. And so what they can do is from that camera feed is they'll repaint the room in 3D like
Yeah.
a video game.
yeah.
And so you can walk through the space live,
Yeah.
like even while we're in here.
Right. Is it just guessing what the rest of the
It's
room
kind
is
of-
like?
Yeah, something like that. But it's in real time. So if we're moving, it moves around us.
Wow.
Like if we're sitting here, it would move us around. And so it allows people to remote view
Mm-hmm.
spaces from anywhere. So like if you're a franchise owner,
Right.
I'm going to pop into my location 1 or 2 and I want to know what's going on. I'm going to walk around the room. Like why are these boxes just sitting here?
Mhm.
Who hasn't unpacked this inventory, or why is this all thrashed versus a 2D image that you see that's
Yeah, you're just staring at a screen.
still.
Yeah.
And then you see movement, but you're not allowed to like walk through the
You
space.
can't see depth.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that seemed promising, although the demo wasn't that impressive. But the idea of that is cool.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they can pull that off, I think that's huge.
Yeah.
Plus, you imagine now with the wearables and stuff, actually walking through
Yeah.
a space, right?
Yeah. It'd be very cool. There was one I did like called Computer X. Did you talk to them at all?
No.
That's kind of a cool deal where essentially what they've done is they've created a like a ChatGPT agent, but it runs on an instance on a computer on their server, sort of like Browser Stack. Remember Browser Stack?
Yeah.
Right. So you run it on this machine, and it gets full control of the computer. So it's like running a computer, and you can tell it like, open this app and do this stuff, and it has full control, and you can you can tell it to surf the web, and you can have it basically do all these tasks.
Why
but
wouldn't you do it on your computer?
because they were like, for security reasons, you don't want an AI just having full control of your computer yet.
Oh, so it's like here's this agnostic
Yes.
system that none of your personal
There's
information
a
is on there.
sandbox. Yeah.
Right.
But it has apps on it.
Yeah.
It's like a terminal, right? And so
Mhm.
you can do all these things, but it's in a sandbox, so you can't break it, or you can't put your
Sure.
data is not sort
Yeah,
of
yeah.
going to be compromised. I thought that was really a smart solution, because I've kind of been waiting too for OpenAI has some sort of integration stuff with like a couple apps on Mac OS and stuff, really minor, but you can tell like they want you to be able to just let it run native almost on your machine. But I think the reality is that that's such a security risk, because then you're gonna be like, oh, you can just see the headline, OpenAI, deleted my file.
Yeah.
OpenAI,
Mhm.
Shared my whatever on the internet, and so they can't let that happen. So this sort of Computer X approach, I thought, was really kind of a smart idea, and I haven't played with it yet. I've got to I think they had like free credits.
Oh,
So
really?
I'm gonna give it a go. 'Cause I
Yeah.
think it'd be a lot of fun to sort of just see what trouble you can get into,
Sure.
you know, without getting into trouble.
Yeah.
You know.
Totally.
So anyway.
All right, I got some for you.
Uh
Pivoting a little bit from, I'm gonna screen share here, Zach.
oh.
Um, yeah, I got the screen recording on. Here goes.
Uh-oh.
Ready for the unveil?
Buddy. Oh.
Yeah. So what we're looking at here is the brand new Slate EV
Truck.
truck,
Yes.
mini truck. And I have to be honest with you, when I first saw it, I was a little bit confused.
Yeah.
Like, what am I looking at here? And I've watched probably a half a dozen videos since the launch, and I kind of like it.
I do too.
I don't even mind the size. I actually think it's perfectly sized for what they're trying to do.
It's a full-size bed. So
Yeah, and I'm not even, it's not even about the bed for me either. When I started seeing the configurations, because I do like the truck, like the bear truck just like this
Yeah.
is super cool to me. But then they start doing this stuff, which, by the way, this website is pretty cool. You see
Yeah.
how it bounced there?
bounces. Yeah. It's like, did you?
Look at that.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's nice. I'm gonna have to steal this.
Dude, can I tell you really quick?
Yeah.
Since I worked in automotive, we had this whole site with these Porsches and stuff, and they would drive into the scene and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And there's this thing, I forget what it's called, but it sort of is this like recoil, like it stops and it goes, you know?
Uh-huh.
It's a very normal thing.
Yeah.
Now, Porsches have a thing in there to not make it do that. So if you pull up to a stoplight in a
It just
Porsche,
stops.
it just goes, yeah, it has a thing. It like dampers
Uh-huh.
that pullback. And so whenever we had these, we had to go back in because the animators didn't know that. And they had these cars like would just pull up, you know, and they do that little pullback. And we had to go in and undo all of it. Because they're like,
yeah.
no, the Porsche doesn't do that, you know? So
So the animators put in that
yeah.
just to make it feel natural.
Yeah, because they're like the car just pulls in.
Yeah.
They didn't know. And we got
And you had to tell them to take it out.
yeah, they go back in and re-render it.
That
out
is
the
fun,
wobble.
dude. That's crazy.
Yeah. So when you see it here, it's sort of like, I'm like, oh, you know, it's not a Porsche.
Not a
So it's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
wobble. That's all right. That's all
Yeah.
right. I get it.
yeah. But now imagine this thing, because it's supposedly it's easy to wrap too, like you
Yeah.
can do yourself. Imagine a Sightbox wrap, right?
Talking about, man.
Like just get a couple of these bad boys and
Yes. Well, and
Pick
not only
some
can you
different
wrap it, they're all plastic.
yes,
So it's pulling from the Saturn days. Do you remember the
yeah,
Saturn?
yeah,
The Saturn had plastic panels on the sides.
yeah.
And so
And dude, even this back, I mean, honestly, this is about the size of the Rover,
that's like,
that
oh
we
yeah.
have.
Yep.
right? The little Evoque.
Yep.
Not much bigger. If anything, it might be slightly smaller, but it's big enough. I mean, even this, you want to feel like you're driving a little wagon, like a
yeah.
Rover. Those
Dude,
those
get it
flat
in white.
bikes.
Yeah. Oh,
And that-
I didn't see
right?
that one.
Isn't that sick? Little Jeep.
Oh, come on.
Makes me think I would love a configuration like this for the beach, Just throw the stuff in the back,
your-
top down.
Your brother, man.
Yeah, Bronco.
He's got a Bronco like that.
I mean, there you go, white
There you go. Yeah, rack on top.
beach right there. Little retro.
Uh-huh.
That's a Sightbox truck right there, right?
Yes.
A little bit of a premium look there.
It's
Yeah.
so crazy, dude.
Well, here's the question: is this is all great, and
Mhm.
I think it's like $50 to reserve your spot.
Yeah.
And the difference here is it is refundable.
Uh-huh.
Unlike Tesla, will just keep your money. $50 right here. The
Yeah.
question is, how many years are we gonna have to wait
To wait for it to come out.
for it to come out,
I know.
right? And so they were saying end of next year, and people were like, probably
Well-
not. So we're really conservatively, I don't know, is it 2027 maybe,
Probably.
right? And it seems more realistic.
Probably.
And so I don't know. Like for me, dude, I'm seriously thinking about throwing $50 in just to be on the list
Just not have a spot.
and see what happens. The other thing I'd asked you when we were chatting the other day was, will this thing ever support FSD? Right?
Yeah.
And so if EVs are going that way,
Yeah.
these guys have to be thinking about that.
Sure. But that would have to, I mean, not for 20 grand. I don't know.
But is it a software thing?
That's what
Like,
I'm
it could be
thinking.
a subscription, right?
I mean, like this thing is like, totally upgradable. I would imagine that you would just eventually just pop in a module, you know? I mean, it doesn't even have a radio.
No, I know. It has nothing.
It doesn't even have a
It's
radio.
a blank slate.
It's a blank slate. Get it?
See what they did
See
there?
what they did there? No, I think it's crazy. I love it. And they
I do
did
too. I
say,
love the branding. I love the design.
yeah, one of the things they did say about sort of manufacturing is that they're only rolling out that model right there. It's sort of like, remember there's a quote from Henry Ford who said, you can have a Ford in any color you want so long as it's black.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, Ford only made black Model Ts. That's it.
Yeah.
Only one color. Because he's like, that was the only way they could produce them fast enough. He's like, there's no customization. Very similar. And he's like, if you want to change it, you got to do it yourself. And
Yeah. We
And
could
they
be
said-
your own maker.
yeah, and they said that this approach, the fact that they only have one assembly line, dramatically simplifies how they build it.
Yep.
And so,
I mean, even the seats, bro. Like you throw in an extra 3 seats in the back when you need them. So
Right.
it's like super modular.
yeah,
It's pretty nuts.
yeah.
But check this out. Our buddy KBHD. I've been hurt before. What what could go wrong?
Shoot.
Isn't that funny?
Oh, dude, ain't that true? This poor guy. You're in. What could go wrong? Oh, I love
Then look at Slate Auto.
oh.
Here to steal your heart, not break it. It's hilarious.
Oh, shoot. You know what's so funny, bro? I'll have to show this. I have one of the first commercials I did was for BMW,
Yeah.
and the whole point of the commercial was that there was a truck hiding under your SUV for the model, the X3. Because this was a time when like everyone was sort of jumping on the SUV bandwagon, you know, and everyone had one. And what was happening is they were taking the drivetrain from trucks and just modifying it to be an SUV. They're just basically what this was.
Yeah.
And so what BMW said was, we've built it from the ground up to be an SUV. Like we didn't take parts from a truck and then make it an SUV. So I literally have a spot where there's this woman putting groceries in the back of her SUV, and then she like shuts the gate, and then all the panels fall off, and it's just a truck like that.
Mm.
And then the groceries fall off. And then there's another one where a guy's like driving down the street and he stops, like slams on the brakes at a stoplight, and the whole
thing.
like
Forward.
yeah, all the panels fly off,
Uh-huh.
and he's just sitting there in a truck.
That's good.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, there it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's a truck. It's going to turn into an SUV. I just think it's funny.
How fun is it going to be when
I'll have to post those.
you
They're
see
old.
these on the street?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they're saying too, like even these smaller trucks, you can't even buy them anymore.
No.
Like even like the Tacoma.
Such a smart approach, because you're not
right.
going to compete against Tesla.
No.
And they're not.
No. Well, that's
Right?
like Rivian. Like this is how they started too.
Yeah.
Right.
The problem with Rivian is it's just the price point is just so high. They went luxury, like
Yes.
premium,
Yes.
and maybe that's fine. But you've seen the struggles they've had, you know? And I think the only reason you're seeing more of Rivian right now is because they've got more investment money, not because they're selling more cars. I think they're just they're pumping more money into it to make it work.
Yeah.
Like with the, and we saw them sponsored South by Southwest,
Right.
and you're like, Rivian, really?
Right. But their whole thing, right, wasn't they were going after this like almost like upscale adventure. Remember they called it something like an adventure vehicle?
Yeah, I mean that's why they had the track,
Yes.
the dirt track,
Yes.
South by, or the hills, and
Yeah.
giving people rides.
Yeah.
So this isn't your soccer mom
No.
suburb
No.
driver thing.
And that might not either. I don't know what this exactly is. I'm
Hey,
surprised.
this could be anyone.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So Tesla actually just announced that. So they were going to come out with, I think it was going to be called like the Model Z, which was their
It's
compact,
gonna be sexies.
I guess. But it was their compact
Supposed to be like a
hatchback.
$20,000 car,
It was
right?
going to be sub 25.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was their little compact hatchback, and they canceled it. They canceled it this year. So they said they're going to put basically I think what they're going to do is build the taxis, the robo taxis instead.
Oh yeah, that makes more sense.
But that now sort of leaves this gap for this bottom segment
Yeah,
where, I mean, it's really, I don't know, it's interesting. I'm surprised knowing now though that they're not going to have a hatchback. Watch these guys came in and be like, yo, hatchback, and just gobble that stuff up. Because you see them everywhere, right? Like just little.
see, but the beauty of
Honda
this
Fits.
again, and this is the genius part, is like you said, they only have to make one vehicle
Yeah.
on that assembly line, and not 4 or 6 or
Yeah.
8. One, and then just sell parts.
Yeah.
I bet you they'll make more money on parts
Sure.
than the freaking cars.
Yeah. Lose money on the vehicle.
Yep.
And make money on the parts.
Yep. The
Mod it out.
configurations and the modding.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it could even be like, yo, you just buy it. If you're on a budget, just buy the car. I'm like, yo, I got this straight thing.
Yep.
Next year I'll mod it up.
Yep.
Get new panels, whatever, save up.
Let's see who's invested in Slate. Who owns Slate?
It's so funny, man, that they must have started their ad campaign this weekend because it was just blowing up on TikTok.
Dude,
Does he?
Zach Bezos-Backed Slate Auto.
Ah, okay. So he is an investor. I don't think it's an Amazon company, but
No, I think he just
that's right. I did read about
Investor.
this because they were talking about even selling them on Amazon. Yeah, that's right. Because I think Kia, you can buy a Kia or a Hyundai on Amazon, which is a great idea. I mean, just sell it direct. Makes so much sense.
Yeah, Bezos-Backed Slate Auto unveils $20,000 electric truck
Yeah.
as competitor to Musk's Tesla. Well, I don't see it as a competitor. I just see it as another category.
Yeah. And it's Michigan based.
Yeah, American made too.
Yep.
Cool branding, cool design.
And it's not it's unpretentious, which I
Right.
like,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Rivian's a bit pretentious. And then Tesla's always been kind of cocky. Straight up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they always earned the right? Because they'd always just make these stupid fast cars. But
Right.
they definitely enjoyed putting it out there.
Interesting. So now he invests in an electric vehicle company, as well as try to go to space. He's just like behind Elon, seems.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I should go to space too.
Yeah.
Blue
Yeah, he's like,
Origin,
yeah.
SpaceX, Blue Origin.
Yeah.
Tesla, Slate.
Yeah. It's like, okay, when's the Amazon Optimus coming out? Because
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
You know it's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. You can guarantee it.
You're gonna see an actual Alexa,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Optimus, and then you're gonna have
Alexa.
Alexa. Yeah.
Alexa's a bot.
She's gonna have a wig, like a hair.
Oh, I hope they don't.
It'll look like his girlfriend.
Oh no, the second wife. Oh god.
Jeez.
Anyway, yeah, it's exciting
stuff.
stuff.
Good stuff.
I think it's
I
time.
hope it succeeds. I mean,
Well, here's what's crazy, and I don't know if you've seen this because we're talking about cars and stuff, but some of the Chinese EVs that are coming out, are they're as good
pretty
as
baller.
Tesla.
They're
Yeah.
pretty baller. I've seen them.
And they're cheap.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on Tesla to sort of figure out how they're going to fit in that market, because these Chinese cars are going to be, they're based, and what's so crazy to me is how the Japanese automakers just dropped the ball. Toyota, Nissan, Honda just didn't get on the EV thing. They've got a couple. Like Toyota makes one pure electric vehicle, and it's not even a Prius. Doesn't make any sense to me. And they're just sitting ducks, and China is like, no, we're doubling down. And I think we're gonna reach a point in the next 5-10 years where some of those
Tesla
brands,
put out all the specs.
they
open
they
sourced
took-
basically the technology.
yeah, they gave away their patents.
Yeah.
They said, here's all our patents.
Yeah.
Please.
In fact, I think the Slate truck uses the Tesla
Charger?
charging. Yeah.
They should.
Yeah.
Everyone
Should
should.
be the open standard,
Yes.
right?
Dude,
For these
those
things?
chargers, those charging stations were it was masterful.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I think it's going to be very interesting how this all plays out. But the future's electric,
100%.
no doubt.
Well, there you have it. Reserve your Slate truck for $50.
$50, get on the list.
Get on the list. Hopefully your heart won't be broken.
Someday you might get a car.
Someday. What did those Cybertrucks came out? What, 5 years late?
Yes,
like that?
dude. The Cybertrucks, the Tesla Roadster,
Oh, the Roadster. Yeah.
dude. That
never came out,
I
right?
don't think it's ever.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever coming out.
Yeah.
The Tesla's the semi truck.
That's right. The semi truck.
I mean,
You think the Robovin will ever? You think?
the Robovin. Again, yeah, who knows, right? I think the smaller ones will soon. Those
Yeah.
that van though is huge. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the Cybercab again.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's pressed like into. That's why it's designed that way, because apparently he said it's like Hot Wheels.
It's just one piece.
I think so, or like a couple of pieces like that they can put in a press and crank out,
Yeah.
and then just send them out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll be the thing for Cybercab. But yeah, I think these are made in a similar way. I watched the launch
Yeah.
event.
Well, that's the whole promise of these things, because there's no transmission, there's no drivetrain really between the front and the back.
Mm-hmm.
So really, it's a battery and 4 wheels and a little bit of an engine in the front, a little battery or a motor. And so, in fact, did I send you that thing? There's motor in wheels now.
Yeah, I saw that.
So now you won't even have to have a motor in the middle. They'll be in each of the 4 wheels. And at that point, you're just like, it's like a skateboard.
Yeah.
And whatever you put on top of it, you just put on top. Like, you want it bigger, smaller, So it's going to change the way cars work, And even like the stuff like I know especially for the Cybertruck uses what's called drive-by-wire. So even the turning of the wheel is not done through hydraulics, which is how typically the steering's done. It's actually done through, it's just reading a signal. And so it's like, oh, you turn 90 degrees, I'll turn the wheels that. And so, so you don't even have the mechanics like of driving, you know what I mean, into the car. So at that point, yeah, you could put the steering wheel in the back. Who cares, right? Doesn't matter. So anyway, it's very interesting. I'm surprised and delighted by this company. They kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Which is really fun. That's some stealth business right there, man. That's some stealthy stealth.
Yeah, I had no idea about it.
No. In fact, I thought it was a bit of a almost like a joke when I first started seeing. I'm like, what? This can't be real.
Yeah.
Because it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But sure enough, it's real.
It's real. $50. Get on the list.
Get yours.
Well, that was fun, man.
Heck yeah.
We started episode 1 with AI, and we're ending with episode 10 with EVs and self-driving cars,
Yes.
FSD, which
What's
is
our
also
cliffhanger?
AI.
What's our cliffhanger? We need.
Ooh,
Oh, the
Cliff-
questions. Oh, I got a cliffhanger for you
Okay.
because we don't know.
bring it.
Are you gonna get
Ah,
what you gonna get next?
I'm in the middle of trying to get a Tesla Model 3 Highlander. They added a name to the new model.
Okay.
The 2025
All right.
with the HW4, and I'm trying to work it out right now.
Yeah.
The private seller thing, so
Yeah.
it's a little bit harder than just walking into Tesla and getting one. So we'll see.
That's
Next
our
time.
cliffhanger.
That's our cliffhanger. Am I gonna?
We'll show you. We'll
gonna
start
have
up next season
Yeah, with
from the seat of whatever.
yeah, we'll do the episode in the car.
Yeah, the
While we're
reveal,
driving
whatever it
FSD.
is,
Yeah,
or not, right?
yeah,
Or if we're right here,
or
then,
right here,
you know.
with the little toy car. You know, but if not, we're gonna do a self-driving podcast.
Yeah.
This thing's battery powered here.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You got that, Zach? On the road, kind of like comedians in cars. What are they called?
Yes. You got your mount.
Oh, you got the mount,
ready to
dude?
go, bro.
There
Hey.
you go. We'll do it that way.
Yeah.
Just we won't drive, and we'll be safe. All right, folks, that was fun. Check us out on YouTube. I think we're on TikTok now.
Smash that
Hit
like.
that like button. Get us on the algorithm. Catch you on the next one. Peace.
Sightbox, unbox, now we open the door. New podcast dropping like never before. Tapping AI, here we got the cure. Founders for founders, the vision is pure.